Before we get into round 2, do the right thing. No way. Now, when it comes to dealing with someone with extreme views, there is no saving them. They are committed to their arguments, and even if they are wrong, and you can prove that they are wrong, they will not admit defeat. They will shift the goalposts, reject reality, and maybe even call you a funny little slur. Because why should they concede? Why would they concede? This shit makes them money, and if there's one thing that we can all agree on, it is that money good. Well, what am I talking about? Well, Andrew over here had a little bit of a normal one again with this video titled, "Can I prove games have gone woke?" Yes. No. Fuckface, you can't. And I'm gonna make fun of you for attempting something so monumentally stupid. You see, the thing is, Andrew, your simple-minded answer of yes is a logical fallacy. A hasty generalization at that, which can be defined as a statement made after considering just one or few examples rather than relying on more extensive research to back up the claim. It is important to keep in mind that what constitutes sufficient research depends on the issue at hand and the statement being made about it. In order to prove his point, Andrew picked 12 games. In the month of January alone, there were 30 games released. That is more than half of his sample size, so I think it's safe to say that whatever comes out of his oxygen-deprived mouthhole does not constitute sufficient research. Because if he's talking about games in their entirety as a concept, 12 is laughable at best, and Andrew didn't pass grade 2 at worst. This shit is dead in the water. And then there's the term woke, which Andrew so graciously provided his own definition for, which is good. Words mean something, and it's good to know that we're all working on the same basis when it comes to engaging in a healthy discussion, which, might I remind you, Andrew is not doing. His definition of woke is politically liberal or progressive as in matters of racial and social justice, especially in a way that is considered unreasonable or extreme. And he goes on to list 6 attributes that would help satisfy this definition. A game is woke if it has ugly females, replaces male characters with females, removes masculinity, crams in as many minorities as possible, changes historical events to push current agendas, and removes or waters down anything controversial. For his argument to hold any weight whatsoever, which it doesn't, he would need to have a sufficient sample size of recent games, which he doesn't. He also needs an overwhelming majority of said sample size to contain multiple instances of these 6 attributes which he listed, which they don't. And he also needs to prove that these 6 attributes were implemented in these games in an unreasonable or extreme manner, and God only knows how the fuck he would go about doing that. I could go the easy route and pull like any game that came out in 2024 to reintegrate his argument into the fucking soil, but since I'm petty, I'm going to use a game that he used in his own examples to prove him wrong. The Last of Us 2. Damn you, Neil Druckmann. We're back here again, man. God damn it. Spoiler alerts for those of you who haven't played The Last of Us 2. He states that Joel is killed in the game because, and I quote, "Men are bad," and he's replaced with Ellie, a woman who flaunts her broken sexuality and is in a relationship with a woman.
Joel is killed within the first hour of the game because, men are bad. He is replaced with Ellie, who flaunts her broken sexuality and is in a relationship with a woman.
He then laments the fact that the player has to play as Abby, don't we all? Because in his own words, she is a mannish and disgusting girl boss.
For the last 20 hours of the game, you're expected to play as Abby, Ellie's mortal enemy. She's a really mannish and disgusting girl boss character, and there's a nasty sex scene with her cuck boyfriend.
So, according to him, The Last of Us 2 has 4 of these 6 attributes of his. There's an ugly woman, a male character is replaced by a female character, which subsequently removes masculinity, and there are gays in the game. Point 1. You cannot objectively state that anything is beautiful or ugly because that is a subjective observation, especially with people. And if you do say that you can, you're leaning into eugenics territory, and you wouldn't want to share the same ideological beliefs as a Nazi now, would you? Would you? And point number 2, Joel isn't replaced in the game because men are bad. Joel is killed in the game because he killed Abby's dad, and the entire narrative of The Last of Us 2 is centered around Ellie getting revenge because Joel was a surrogate father in the first game that you so praised, you imp. Point number 3, in the game, some Donnie absolutely belts a kid into a garage. But if that's not like a show of masculinity, then I don't know what the fuck is. Lest we forget that the entire game loop is centered around murdering people. There is no better way to assert your dominance than abruptly sending the screeching soul of a human being to God. Point number 4. Gay people exist in the real world. Cry about it. Yet, they are a minority. Gay people exist in the game. Cry about it some more. Yet again, they are a minority. And since The Last of Us 2 is set in the real world and the majority of characters we see on screen are not gay or their sexuality is not outright stated, I think it is safe to say that the implementation of gay people in this game has not been done so in an unreasonable or extreme manner. Oh, and just as a final fuck you, Andrew, Ellie kills a pregnant woman in the game. Moral of the story, fuck AndyPants Gaming. Again, suck your mom and your nan. Do not engage with extremists online unless your goal is to make fun of them, which is a really fun thing to do because I'm having a fucking blast with this moron. You cannot prove that games have gone woke. For fuck's sakes, you couldn't even prove that the game that he cherry-picked had gone woke. Delete your channel, mate. It's dog shit. So until next time, take care of yourselves, boys and girls, because we're all doing the best we can, darling. Never ever grow up, and I will love you.